Happy Friday. I am Jimmy Failla in for Greg. So let's welcome tonight's guest. Let's do this. Here we go. If he looked any younger, he'd be sitting on Kevin Spacey's lap. Host of the Guy Benson Show, Guy Benson is here. He's been behind more bars than a recidivist felon. Host of Bar Rescue on the Paramount Network, John Taffer. There it is. He is so sage, it is hard to disengage. Novelist and literary critic Walter Kern in the house. And she puts the fun in dysfunctional. Fox News contributor, Kat Timpf, there it is. Boom! Boom! Okay, before we get to some news stories, it is Friday, so it's time for this.
Greg's Leftovers.
It's Leftovers, where I read the jokes we didn't use this week. And like Greg does, it's my first time reading these. By the way, who thought it was a good idea to let a community college guy read on national television? Buckle up, kids, here we go. A white activist named Avida Saraswati was accused of cultural appropriation after pretending to be Arab, South Asian, and Latin. If found guilty, she'll be sent where all people who fake their ethnicity go, to the Massachusetts Senate. Good job, team. Tiger Woods was in hot water this week for giving fellow golfer Justin Thomas a tampon. Woods has apologized, saying he confused Justin Thomas with Leah Thomas. Jimmy. Which, by the way, is entirely possible because Leah Thomas still has her golf balls. Good night, everybody. A lawsuit reveals that Jeffrey Epstein's emails to a banking executive used Disney princesses as code names. This is noteworthy because Epstein previously used musical notes as code names, but he never chose anything other than A minor. Oh, wow. That's funny. By the way, everyone hates Jeffrey Epstein, but the Clintons always said he was a great hang. I'm not messing around, folks. Washington State University is threatening to withhold a student's diploma because she owes a 1-cent balance. And everybody knows if you go to a liberal college these days, you have to have no sense. During a press briefing Thursday, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre mistakenly called President Biden President Obama. Don Lemon says this is what happens when you hire a woman past her prime. By the way, if you're wondering, Karine Jean-Pierre is 48, which is the same age as Kamala's IQ. Speaking of Don Lemon, he returned to the airwaves this week. The incredible part is that Lemon was off the air for 3 shows, but he wound up being seen by the same amount of people if he had remained on the air. During his speech in Poland, President Biden says U.S. support for Ukraine will not waver. When asked if he believed Biden, Zelensky said, "Well, I did until I saw him try to get back on the plane." But military experts say Russia should still be careful, because if Joe can do half as much damage to Russia as he's done to America, Russia is toast. California is expected to get hit with its first snowfall since 1989 this weekend. In fact, the weather has gotten so cold, Gavin Newsom is advising Californians to go poop indoors. But the guy you have to worry about is Jimmy Kimmel, because even when it's warm out, his ratings are still experiencing shrinkage, you know. And in other weather news, a rare February tornado hit New Jersey this week. Local officials are calling it Jersey's biggest disaster since 2009. Good job. That's funny. That's funny. By the way, the reason comedians always insult the cast of the Jersey Shore is we don't want to insult the actual citizens of Jersey and then wind up getting like 1,000 poorly spelled hate mails. I'm kidding. Is anyone from Jersey here? Oh my God, I'll speak slower. I had no idea. Back it up. And finally, Cocaine Bear, opening up in theaters this week. But critics were disappointed to learn that the coked up attacker was actually just a guy in a bear suit. All right, let's do the damn show. Here we go. Can she be the replacement for the man who campaigned in his basement? Self-help guru Marianne Williamson is entering the 2024 Democratic primary for president. And unlike Joe Biden, she can pronounce all her platitudes. On Thursday, America's favorite Avon lady spilled the organic beans to Northwestern University's student newspaper. She didn't want to do it with an outlet with limited exposure like CNN. She says she wouldn't be running for president if she didn't believe she could contribute to harnessing the collective sensibility she feels is our greatest hope at this time. How great is weed, by the way? Seeing as how Biden's greatest hope at this time is a Martian invasion, maybe Wacky Aunt Marianne is onto something. You remember, Marianne ran for the White House in 2020 on a platform of creating a Department of Peace and doling out $100 billion in reparations. Also part of her platform, free flying brooms for everyone. Maybe this time those ideas will stick, but only if her dream catcher's turned on. And by the way, it was 1 year ago when she and yours truly got into a bit of a conversation right on this very show. Hit it, girl.
I'll start with Stacey Abrams. This has nothing to do with masks. This has nothing to do with a photo op. It's the politics of distraction. Let's talk about a mistake she did at a photo op so that people will not listen to the important things she's trying to say to the people of Georgia.
Can I just jump in here, though?
Yes.
What she's demonstrating there is a very callous indifference to children. Masking children is child abuse. People are not even looking at that as mad about the hypocrisy as they are as the fact that there are kids in masks in the background that shouldn't be.
I'll give you that.
It's not a campaign.
I'll give you that.
Oh, no, you didn't, Marianne. Dude, she couldn't even take on a cabbie. I had more people successfully argue the route to LaGuardia. But then again, how hard could it be to run against a president who can't walk? My advice, Marianne, keep the jasmine incense burning. And not just for good luck. Joe just made an executive order in his pants. Kat Timpf, I go right to you. You and I spent some time with Marianne Williamson on this show. We both kind of thought she was nuts. That being said, don't you feel like it's time for Biden to step aside for somebody younger like Moses?
Okay, I have a lot to say about Marianne Williamson. Because when she was on, I mean, her voice.
Yeah.
Like, she is a comforting presence. I would pay a very hefty monthly fee for any time I'm freaking out, just to be able to call her and have her be like, you're okay. Like, and we kind of need, like, she couldn't do worse than, I think she could do a little better in some ways. Like, I think she would go to East Palestine.
Yeah.
It would probably be because she thought that bringing healing crystals there would solve the problem. But she would go. And the Department of Peace is not the worst idea because, I mean, our Department of Defense, I think we should go back to it being that instead of the Department of, ooh, war's making me money.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm with her. Guy Benson, I want to ask you a strategic question. She's launching her campaign at 2 p.m. on a Saturday. Is there a less relevant time slot? I mean, other than 8 p.m. on CNN, is there a less relevant time slot?
Well, and she apparently made the announcement to Northwestern University's student newspaper, which is my alma mater. So,
get out! Yeah.
Go Cats. That's an excellent choice on her part. A strange one. She makes a lot of those. I will say, to Kat's point, and watching the flashback clip of that, what is her accent? It is totally indecipherable. It's a bizarre accent, and yet listening to her for just about 15 seconds made me this close to joining whatever cult she was.
Yes.
Like, I'm like, sign me up. Where do I sign? How much money does it cost? It's actually somewhat disturbing.
Here it is. Take the money. John, I will ask you this. I've always said that Joe Biden would make a great Walmart greeter if he didn't mind being welcome to Target. Okay. for you guys. I was coming. I had a question. I'm sorry I'm so good at this. I had a question. Stick with me. Would you hire Joe Biden at the age he's at to run one of your bars?
No, I would not. I would make him to walk one of my bars, but certainly not to run one of them. No, I mean, the fact is he's stiff and he's going to get angry at everybody all the time.
That's true.
Right? Somebody's going to say, let me have a drink, and he's going to, you don't need a drink.
You know what the worst part of that would be? You give him money for the jukebox and he sends it to Ukraine. Here's the thing. Where are my songs?
Joe Biden is actually like the angry old guy at the bar making up stories about his life.
Yeah, he is.
That's his actual role in this.
I'm not certain I would sit a young girl next to him either.
Hey!
Except they'd be like, "You've had enough, sir," and he'd be like, "I haven't had anything."
He doesn't remember.
What? I had a drink before?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Walter, I got to ask you this. Marianne Williams getting into the race. Does this change your calculus as a guy who's been openly supportive of Kanye and everything he says?
Well, I don't even know how to decipher that. But, you know, I think you should challenge him to a debate in the lotus position. She'll be able to win without speaking a word. You know, he'll never get in the lotus position. If he does, he'll never get out of it. But I take her candidacy seriously because if she splits the yoga vote, there's really no way for Biden to win. And secondly, everybody's talking about how charming she is and how seductive her voice is. I found it horribly grating and annoying myself. It depends on who she's channeling, I guess. But I think that she makes him look about 10 years older than he is, which is a huge accomplishment.
And I'm sorry I asked you a weird question. I'm trying to bridge a 300-point IQ gap between you and me right now.
I'll help you because I feel stupid sitting next to Kat. You know?
Guy, let me ask you this, though, because we do bag on Biden, but let's also give him credit for the powerful words he's inspired the country with. Who could forget the end of the State of the Union when he did say now is the time to choose unity over schmegadahamanaha? I mean, would you dare?
It really makes you think. It really makes you think. Here's a question on a serious note about Joe Biden, as we're all like, our job is to, at least my job is to be a political analyst, and is he going to run, or is this guaranteed? Is that man seriously going to be our president for 6 more years?
No.
Is that a realistic thing
No
here?
chance. No.
That's
No.
the question that he and his family, I think, have to figure out first.
Speaking as an American, 2024 is Hunter's blood alcohol content right now. Before we go, Greg will be on Bill Maher's Club Random podcast this Sunday. Wow, I didn't get that invite. The episode drops at 9 p.m. Eastern. Go to youtube.com/Club Random Podcast. It'll also be available on all major podcast platforms.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.